that is precisely what you can do with your books, Gemma. You've got M is for Manx Cat. That was published in April this year.
That's right, yes.
And then you've got the Isle of Man ABC colouring and activity book, which has been published in the last couple of weeks or so.
Right, yes.
How did this all come about?
I was on maternity leave, and the
You were
idea
bored?
the idea for an Isle of Man related ABC came about because I was on maternity leave, and I had a poster in my daughter's room which was an ABC poster, and it didn't exist for the Isle of Man yet. And every time I went into a bookshop or a gift shop, I was looking for something that was about the Isle of Man as a whole that would appeal to children, and I didn't feel like there was one thing that kind of encapsulated the Isle of Man in a very visual way that would appeal to young people. So that's how the idea came about.
And it is absolutely beautiful, illustrated by Kim G.
That's right.
Just some wonderful, wonderful illustrations in there. We are going to be giving a couple of the books away, actually. We've got a copy of M is for Manx Cat and also the new colouring book as well. Should we give the question now?
Yes, let's give the question now, because in case it's maybe vaguely referred to in the conversation.
OK, so you came up with a question, Gemma.
Yes.
Go on.
So in the Isle of Man ABC, what is X for?
What is X
There
for?
you go.
Is it xylophone?
No, sorry, Beth.
X-ray?
Good try.
No?
No,
OK.
keep going.
Something to do with the Isle of Man.
OK, if you think you know, 166 177 or email studio@manxradio.com. But tell us then about the colouring and activity books. You've done one book and you
Yes.
thought, naturally, I've got to do another one before the end of the year.
Absolutely. So very grateful to the Isle of Man Arts Council, who provided financial support for both of the books. And when I originally pitched the idea for the picture book, all along my idea was, if we're creating this wonderful imagery, we need to be able to reuse it and repurpose it. So after the book was published, I came up with a range of merchandise, and then I reapplied to do the colouring book to the Arts Council and received another grant to do the colouring and activity book. So it reuses illustrations from M is for Manx Cat. It has extra detail added so that there's something to colour in. A few of the pages have got multiples, so there's multiple sheep and there's multiple jellyfish, so there's extra there to colour. And then there's a variety of different activities as well. So you can make your own treasure map of the Isle of Man. There's a scavenger hunt. We have the Manx language in there again with matching pairs, so you have to match the Manx phrase with the picture. And there's also the opportunity to cut out and create your own little miniature ABC book as well at the end.
Isn't that brilliant? And you mentioned the Isle of Man Arts Council, who say that this is a really wonderful celebration of contemporary and traditional culture. I mean, how long did it take you to come up with the ideas for these?
Well, the picture book, I guess it was probably about over the course of a year, and I was writing rhymes in my head as I was pushing the pram along. And then when we got into the actual sort of creation of the book with Kim and the imagery, I tweaked the rhymes a lot then. And then in terms of the colouring book, I received the grant in September, and then we squirreled away quickly to try and get it out in time for Christmas this year. It should have been on shelves early November, but we had some print issues, so sadly it had to go back to the printer, and then I got the flu. So it is in shops now. It's been out for a couple of weeks.
I may know a little person that's getting one of these for Christmas, because I think it's gorgeous.
There
But
you go,
it's also, but imagery-wise, it's given you the opportunity as well to create so many things now. It's not just about the book. So with regards, whether it's M is for Manx Cat or the colouring book itself, just talk us through some of these wonderful bits you've brought with you.
I've got a ton of things. Really, it's been a process of trial and error this year to see what would people like to buy, what would the retailers be interested in stocking. I started off with a pin badge. Had to do the pin badge. The cat is actually a white Manx cat because that was my first ever pet. We had a pet cat called Alice, and she was a white Manxie. So hence the lead character, if you like. So we've got a pin badge, and then based on some of the most popular images in the book, I've got coasters, and
They're gorgeous.
magnets, key rings.
Yeah, coaster's lovely too. Was it difficult thinking up, or did you sort of have a hit list of things that you wanted to have images of in the book?
The imagery for the book, well, it started with the alphabet, really. So I sat down and worked out what I would like to represent each letter of the alphabet. Some letters were trickier than others, like X.
Ooh.
Others, there were multiple things that it could have represented. So, for example, T is for Tynwald Hill. That could have been Tower of Refuge. Can't think of another example off the top of my head.
You'd have to toss a coin. It can't be both. I'm going to have
No,
to
so I deliberately tried to get a balance across the alphabet of things that covered a spectrum of relevant things for the island. So, for example, is for pennies. It could have been Peel Castle, maybe. That might be one that people think, well, why didn't you put Peel Castle in? We've already got Castle Rushen in the book, and I wanted to make sure that our currency was in there because that is so unique and represents our island. And the imagery for the pennies is actually really cute because it's got a wren on there, it's got 3 legs of man, it's got the I think it's got the Tower of Refuge on there as well, has it?
They are.
Does, yeah.
Just lovely.